Okay, great. All right, guys, so welcome to our Tuesday call. And before we start with our guest, Angelica, who just returned from Isogenics University in Vegas, I'm going to ask her some questions. I want to just go over a couple things really quickly. Couple tips, guys, just from conversations I was having with some people today and last week. One thing I wanted to kind of remind you guys about is really trying to set up somebody for success when you first start with them, like by asking them questions, meeting them where they are to best fit the right pack for them. If you feel like some objections coming, ask them why. This is really key. Say, why are you hesitating? Is there something I can answer for you? Is it the pack doesn't seem right to you? Let me know. If you don't ask why, it really could be something that you could work out that you're just not getting to. The other thing, you guys, is really important. Their first 30 days, you really want to be organized. So, check in with them, especially if they're starting a cleanse or doing a 2-day or a 1-day cleanse. Like, check in, are you ready for your cleanse? I personally have made guides. They're in all of our Facebook groups. You can save them and download them to your computer and send them on an email. That's what I usually do as well. Or you could just tag them in the group. But I like to email it to them too so they know that it's there and where to find it. The thing about Isogenics is that when people just get their guide and they follow 1 meal, 2 shakes, most people are too hungry. Most people are. That is honest to God truth, guys. So what I'm finding when I'm talking to a lot of you guys or a lot of customers is that if they don't follow the 30-day guide that I make, and I have some people that they're like, I'm starving. I'm like, what guide are you using? And they're like, the one that came in the box. I'm like, no, remember the one I emailed you, use that. So you have to remind them. But one is, if they're starving, their body is actually not going to get results. They're not enough calories for that person in particular person. Maybe they're very active, whatever their history is. So I notice a lot of times customers are complaining about the 1 meal, 2 shakes. Remember, they can eat more if they need to. You don't want them to stuff themselves. You want to make it realistic. They're getting those 2 shakes in a day. They're getting their ionics, natural accelerator. They're throwing the cleanses in. They're going to be fine. Make sure they're not obsessing about what they're eating too much, honestly, really. It's really, you want this to be a lifestyle for people. I've seen so many people under eating. It's crazy. And even when they're doing the 1 meal and 2 shakes, they're like hardly having snacks and their meal is really low in calories. So you just don't want that mentality out there. So please remember that. The other thing, guys, is please make sure about week 3, you call them about their next shipment. If you do not set people up with auto ship, they do lose out on some savings. And you don't double your PIB if you don't set them up with auto ship, guys. So set them up with it, but don't forget about it. Also, make sure you set it up with something reasonable, maybe like a fraction of the cost they spent their first month so they don't freak out. So a premium pack is $3.99. Right now, personally, the premium pack, it's free enrollment. Now we have free shipping. You get the free blend. You get all your snacks. I love that pack. The value pack is more, comes with the vitamins. It comes with the greens. It could be overwhelming for some people because it's a lot of things to remember. So my personal preference, I always talk about the value pack, but I kind of say, you know what, why don't you start with the premium pack? Because you kind of could sense where people are. I don't remember to take my AMP and vitamins 6 years later. So I just feel like it could be a little much for people. But say you do the premium pack, you're not going to put that on their auto ship because they don't need another blender. They don't need all those things again. You don't want them to think that every month they're spending that. So there's a daily wellness pack that's only offered in Lifestyle Rewards. You only could get ISA delivery if you're a Lifestyle Rewards member. So those are reasons why you want to use Lifestyle Rewards, but please follow up with them and let them know, like, hey, you're getting ready for your next month. How are you doing? Let me show you how to log in your account, because some people don't even log in their account right away. So you walk them through that. I know it takes a little time, but once you build that trust with them and they're independent and they log in their account and they know how to manage their Lifestyle Rewards, then they're good. So that's just something I wanted to make sure you guys start doing. But that's just something I kind of wanted to remind a lot of you. Let's now go and talk with Angelica. I'm going to unmute you. So Angelica, I wanted her to share because she's pretty new. When did you join Isogenics?
Back in February.
Okay, so you're pretty new. Congratulations so far because you're doing amazing, not only with your own transformation. And what I love about your story is that it was not a weight loss story. So we have a great example of a healthy weight gain, a lean muscle story on our team. Just so people don't think it's only about weight loss. Angelica did not come in for that. And she's already manager. She already hit crystal manager. So congratulations. But the best thing that I just saw her commitment was that she went to an event. Not only did she go to an event, but she went by herself. That takes like commitment, right? When you just start. So she doesn't know anybody that's going to be at this event. And she went to Isogenics University, which is it's a training event that's a smaller scale than NYKO or those types. So it's on a little bit smaller scale, but it's great, especially for new people learning. So what I would love for you to do, and I can kind of direct, I'll ask questions as you're talking, but can you tell people just some of your biggest takeaways that you learned from the event or the presenters?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, if you can ever make it to an event, I would definitely highly recommend that you do it. Maybe not by yourself. It was a little bit lonely by yourself, but it was still worth it. Absolutely. But for me, it was seeing the people who have done so well with the company in person. It just makes more of a connection that way, and they become real live people and not just somebody you see maybe on Facebook or on Instagram or something like that. They're real. They tell their stories, and you can see firsthand that at some point they started exactly where I am right now, which is meant the world to me, really, because you see people who've done so well, and you don't think, well, they had to start somewhere. You just see where they are. And when you hear them present and you hear them tell their story, it makes you think, well, if they did it, I can do it too. So that was my major takeaway from that.
Any nuggets that you learned from any of the speakers or any favorite speakers that you heard, or anything that was almost like a aha moment?
There was so much information. I don't know that I had just one particular aha moment. It was super cool to see Trudy Maples, Emily Vavra, Carla Italiano. They just all were super down to earth, funny, had you laughing, had you crying, the whole nine. But I would definitely say that one of the things, I have my notes here from going through all of my notes that I had, pages and pages of notes. One of it was what you always say too, as a matter of fact. If you want to build your Isogenics business through social media, be real and authentic. People need to trust you with their dreams before they join you. That was a big deal for me. And the fact that people admire you for your strengths, but they connect with you through your weaknesses. So it's funny because we always want to present our best selves, and a lot of us have always strived for perfection for whatever reason. But when you try and connect with somebody else, when you look at somebody else, it's like you connect with them through not necessarily a weakness, but just them being real. So even though you're trying to present yourself as being perfect, you connect with other people on things that could be a weakness. So it was just kind of making that was an aha for me. You don't have to be perfect, and as a matter of fact, people connect with you more when you're not perfect.
Awesome. Any what about like Emily Vavra or any of those big people? Anybody that said anything that was kind of building your belief personally? Like, were you struggling with belief in any area that you kind of feel stronger now that you've gone to the event?
Well, I think it was helpful to hear from all of them that they weren't good at it at first, that it did take time for them to become good at this process. As a matter of fact, I think it was Carla who said, just, you're going to be bad at first. Just continue being bad until you're good. Continue being bad at it until eventually one day you're good at it, because that's just kind of the way it goes. Just keep trying and trying, and eventually it connects, and you just become good at it eventually. But you have to keep going no matter what. You have to fail forward, and you just have to keep going.
Awesome. Did they do any other kind of technique training or any connecting training that you want to share, or any other things in your notes that you want to share?
One of the major things, Emily Vavra on the second day, she said it's something that kind of made me laugh because it's like, duh. But she said at the end, always end with, so are you ready to do this? Are you ready to sign up? Do you need any more information? She said a lot of people don't ask that question in the end, and it just leaves everybody hanging. And the other person is truly waiting for you to say, all right, you ready to do this? Let's do it. Let's get you signed up.
Well, that's so funny, because I actually was talking about how Nicole Carter, I was talking about her today. That's her. She's so good at that. Like, come on, girl, let's go. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's get this going. And
let's go, baby.
Right? It is. It's so true. People want to hear your enthusiasm, right? That you're excited to get them started. So sometimes we put our own fears in front of, of that. Awesome. So any other takeaways that you want to share with us that we weren't there, or anything you could tell people about going to events? Like, was it worth it to you? Did it, what did it change in you?
Yeah, 100% it was worth it, for sure. It's just the energy, the atmosphere, the camaraderie, all of that. It just all comes into play. It's all the intangibles that you can't get sitting at home and being on Facebook, being on Instagram, going onto Isagenix website. All of that stuff is great, but going to an event just gives you that energy, and it definitely fuels you. It lights that fire. If you already have a fire lit, it just puts fuel on the fire. It makes it even bigger. So if you can go to an event, absolutely 100% go to an event. The only thing I would say is take a friend with you.
You didn't meet anybody there? You didn't make conversation?
I made friends with the girl who sat next to me the first day, but that's one of the things that I'm overcoming. Like, I would say all my life, I've been one step away from somebody with social anxiety. So this was like a big, huge deal for me, but I just wanted to learn more than I was afraid to go. So
that's awesome. I love it. And so you feel like you did learn a lot and it was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what'd you say?
I said, so everybody go to an event.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely 100% agree. Who, out of all the presenters, who is your favorite?
Emily Vavra, for sure. Trudy Maples was my number 2.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah.
And they're both very different.
Yes.
And they're both very successful. So it really goes to show you. Emily Vavra is one of my favorites too. I like following her, and she's really a strong example of almost like a Cinderella story. Oh, yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Sure.
Awesome. So anything else you want to share?
Yeah, just one quote that they posted while we were there was one of their slides. And it said, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'm just too busy. The truth is, people do what they want, buy what they want, and are as busy as they want to be for what they're interested in. So when you get those no's, I can't do it because of money. I can't do it because of my husband. I can't do it because of whatever. Just know that if they truly want it, they'll make it happen.
I love that. Yeah, it is true. It's all about priorities, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Does anybody have any questions for Angelica before I just was going to wrap up with just a couple things about talking about the opportunity. Good. Okay. All right. So if you do think of a question, you can write it in the chat box. But wanted to just kind of talk to you guys a little more about infusing the opportunity into people who come to you for products. I think that we talk about it a lot, but I find that people are still hesitating. So if you have any hesitations about always sharing the opportunity aspect, or if that's something you kind of feel you struggle with, if you can just put a thumbs up or a yes or a Y in the chat box, just so I know kind of if it is something that everybody's or a lot of people are dealing with. In other words, you know, if you feel comfortable talking to people about the products, or if they ask you about the products, but then you kind of get a little bit stuck when it comes to sharing the income opportunity part. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys just some tips. I met with a few people locally today, and we were just chatting, and I asked this question, and it was, you know, if you weren't making any income, would you feel more comfortable talking to people about the systems and the products? That was the first question, and everybody agreed. So we kind of have to think about, why does that cause a little bit of a block? And it's true. I was like that. Rod was like that. We were like, gosh, you know, we can share and talk about the products, you know, when people ask us, but then it was almost like a little hesitation about really closing and really, you know, following up, because we were going to end up earning income. So you just have to really recognize like what the reason for that is. And at the end of the day, you know, if you were going to recommend to somebody an Isagenix because you truly felt that it would help them, but they were going to buy it at GNC, would that be more comfortable to you? And if so, then it's probably some kind of a money mindset that you need to work on. So I'm not going to go into it too much tonight because it's already 9 o'clock, but I just want you guys to be aware. I think the important thing about any kind of business or personal development is self-awareness. Like, what is causing the hesitation? What is causing the fear or whatever it is that's stopping us? So again, if you know that somebody would benefit from Isagenix because you know that it would work great for them, and would it be easier for you to tell them, oh yeah, GNC has it, than to buy from you? And if the answer is yes, then you need to dig a little bit into why. And then it's all about kind of your valuing yourself as the person that's going to help them, as the person that's getting the referral bonus. Like, you rightfully should be paid over GNC. So why is it comfortable to refer to GNC than yourself? And it's something that you need to kind of just be aware of, and then we can kind of go into that if that's something that's common with you guys. As for the opportunity, I think sometimes we hesitate because we make it weird, right? Or we don't know how they're going to perceive direct sales or network marketing. So instead of finding out, we just don't say anything. So, you know, I told this story today, and I'm just going to tell it briefly, and a few of you might have heard it, but there's this really nice, sweet woman that I met a few years ago. Her name's Linda, and she was awesome. I loved her, bubbly. I did think, wow, she might be great with Isagenix. I invited her to one of my glutes classes I was doing. She came. I kind of mentioned that, oh, we're going to be doing a group cleanse if anybody's interested, like to the whole class. Then we were friends on Facebook, and then I thought, okay, well, she just friended me, you know, she accepted my friend request. So if she's interested, she'll see my post and reach out. And that's where I left it. I never personally went up to her to talk to her about it. So time passed, I moved. So Shayla, who's on my team, is friends with her and enrolled her, because they ended up being kind of the same circle. So I was so excited because I always thought she'd be good. Well, the last event we went to at NYKO, Linda came up to me and asked me why I never thought of her. And she said it in a way that she felt insulted. She actually almost had tears in her eyes. And she said, we really clicked. We got along great. You were doing awesome. Why didn't you think that I'd be good at this? Like, why didn't you tell me about it? And guys, that was such an eye-opener, because here I thought I was just kind of, you know, friending her on Facebook. She'll see my stuff. You know, I invited her to my class. I mentioned a cleanse, but I didn't specifically go to her and say, Linda, I really think I have something for you. I think you'd be great at this. And guys, how awesome would somebody feel if you think of them, even if they're not interested? It's a compliment. So this is what I want you guys to do tonight. I want you to get off the phone, get off the call tonight, or if you're too tired, do it tomorrow morning, and make a list of the people that you have thought of and you are not asking them directly. You're waiting for them to maybe reach out to you, or you're just not bringing it up to them because you're scared of the reaction or whatever it is. And I want you to make a list. And I'm not saying that you have to tackle that list right away, but we need to be aware of the people that we're thinking of that we're not inviting directly. what I want to do is help you guys. I want to help you with how to approach that list. Every single one of you. I want to help every one of you because I really think it's amazing. And that I think that whole thing happened for the reason that I get to tell this story and help you guys today. Okay. She was enrolled by somebody that I enrolled, so it was great. She was still on my team. I was really happy. But when she said that to me and said, why didn't you think I'd be good at this? Why didn't you think of me? It was just like a light bulb. Like, people want you to think of them, not that you're waiting for them to react to one of your posts. And it's just in the posture and the way you say it. You're complimenting somebody by saying, you know what, it might not be for you, but you have such an amazing personality. I think you would jive so well with my team. And the products are great. You love health. You love nutrition. I think this might be something for you. Would you want to take a look? You're not forcing it. If they say no, they say no. Listen, if you change your mind, let me know. Or if you think of anybody that's similar to your personality, because the way that you are, how personable, how fun, how extroverted, those are the kind of people that do really well with this. So that's why I thought of you. Okay. And you could always do something like this. Say you have a trainer friend and you're so terrified to go up to the trainer. You can use like Rod for an example, or Shayla for an example, and say, listen, I thought of you because I have a trainer on my team who is doing this isogenics business, and they're really bringing in a lot of income that's complementing their training business. And I just thought of you because I know you work so hard and you care about your clients so much. You think this would be a really good opportunity for you. And anyway, when I saw my friend Shayla or I saw my friend Rod on the team doing really well, it just made me think of you. Are you interested in learning more? Okay, this is the kind of stuff that we need to start being bold and just doing, because there comes a time that you guys got to feel that sometimes you're just not going that extra step and something's stopping you. And we're making it weird. And we might be missing out on a lot of people that are like, I always say, we ask God, I want this, I need this, and you don't know, he might be putting people right in front of you every day and you're walking right by them. Or maybe it's somebody you're working out next to every single day and you still haven't said anything. All the universe could do, God could do, is put those opportunities in front of you. But you guys have to take the next step. It's not really going to fall on your lap. You've got to be intentional and you've got to be aware and know what you're looking for. So if we can all, me included, I will do this with you guys, make a list of all those people that we really, and I'm talking about the business right now. We can always, I feel like you guys are pretty confident with the products. If you do need help with approaching people with the products, here's the thing. What's easier for you to go up to somebody about? That they need to lose weight or that they can make money? Let's be real. For me personally, I would rather talk to somebody and be like, listen, I think you'd kill it in this. It's a holistic nutrition company. It's a virtual online franchise. I see people just like you on my team doing awesome. We would work well together. I feel more comfortable approaching people like that than saying, hey, have you ever thought about like a cleansing system? They'd be like, oh, why? What's wrong with me? Why do I do this? You know what I mean? It's just a little easy, I think, is to go to somebody and compliment them of how much they'd be great at their business. Not like, you would be great at losing 10 pounds. I've been thinking about you when I was thinking about people to lose 10 pounds, right? So let's all do this together. Who's on board? Like really as a team, we make a list tonight or tomorrow morning, between tonight and tomorrow, get your list down. I will help you guys on what to say. I think that you need to think about not only the people, but who do you feel comfortable talking to in person? Maybe is it somebody you see in person or calling on the phone, or that you feel like maybe you're just going to start with a text or a message. And you're going to make notes of what level of comfort you have. Is it going to be calling them? And I don't want you to be comfort, like not stepping out of your comfort zone. What I mean is if it's somebody that you never pick up the phone and call ever, then maybe that's a little strange. But if it's somebody you've talked to on the phone, then pick up the phone and call them. But these are the things. The other thing I want you guys to think about, if it's somebody that you have not spoken to, you don't really have a connection with, but you feel like they would be great, I still want you to write their name down, because this is what you're going to do with those people. You're going to start intentionally building a relationship and a connection with them. It's not going to be talking about isogenics. It's going to be about them. So say you know this woman who owns a Pilates studio and she would be amazing, but you really have not talked or connected to her in a while. You're going to start going on her Facebook page, or if you see her in person, and just start to get to know the person. Examples could be that you go on their page and see what their last post was, comment, maybe private message something to go along with it. I've been watching your posts, you know, your new puppy's so cute, or your kids are getting so big, or, you know, their recent pictures look amazing. You're going to just start with an authentic, genuine connection with those people that you have not spoken to in a while. Because this is what I want you guys to learn and know. This business is all about connecting and connections. And if we are not going all in on this and we're not putting ourselves out there to connect, I really don't know how else we're going to grow. So let's all do this together. And, you know, there's going to be energy in it because we're all doing it together, and you're going to feel braver because we're all doing it. And we'll keep in touch in our business training page, and we can, you know, cheer each other on. But I promise I'll help you. I'll help you with how to word things, you know, what to say. We can do practice calls, but I just want you guys to start with the list. And then we'll pick up, you know, we'll work on this for a week. And I really want us to really be brave here and bold, because this is what it's all about. This is really what it's all about. And these are the chances we have to take in order to grow. And also, guys, if for those of you who are, you know, even if you're a year in or you're starting, this is something that takes time. So, you know, a lot of times two things could happen. People can start this and kind of blow up with momentum pretty quickly. Like, say they have a great transformation, they post it, and there's all these comments and people are reaching out and there's this great momentum. What happens is eventually that's going to fade. It's just the nature of it. It goes up and down, up and down. And then there's some people, they start it and it's like they never hit that momentum and they don't know what's going on. Like, why can't I get that momentum going? Either way, I've seen it happen with people, but we have to stay consistent, and then we have to do these things that create the momentum and the energy constantly, because that's what's going to propel our business. So let's all make a deal right now as a team to do this together. Put ourselves out there. We're going to write our list between tonight and tomorrow. And I do not want you to skip over anybody like I skipped over Linda a few years ago. I don't want you to skip over anybody. Even if you're not going to reach out to the person, you're going to write them down. Even if it's going to be a while before you reach out to them, you're writing their name down. Okay, you can call this your chicken list, whatever you want to call it. But these are those people that you have thought of that you have not reached out to, okay? So that's what we're all going to work on it together. And that's really what I wanted to end with, but I see like some questions coming up, so let me see. I don't think so, Eileen. I think you could sign up for more, but I don't know if you get, let me read the notes. I don't know. I'll find that out. Obviously you can sign up for more than one, but I don't know if the same person will get 5 more enrollments, but that's a really good question. That's a really good question. I'll find out for you. I'm going to ask, there's a regional corporate person, Anja, that I've been reaching out to with questions. Okay, so good. Everybody likes that new, everybody's going to be vibing together. We got this together. New product page is going to become, everything's going to be good, guys. Also, the new reports came out for Grand Cayman, and damn it, Nicole, girl, she's number 30 out of the entire company globally, guys. I just want that to sink in. I think they said there's like, I was on the call with Renee. Emily, you were on. How many people associates are in the, I forget how many associates she was saying when I was doing the call, but that means that her business is in growth. Okay. So, you know, I'm proud of you, Nicole. You're doing awesome. These contests, yeah, these contests and promotions are really awesome, guys. You know, log in your back office and look up contests and promotions. I mean, Nicole had no idea she was even going to be in that one. And I was like, hey, girl, your name's on this one. Like, what, back in December or something? So go back in these contests and promotions and find one that looks like you want to go for it and see what it takes and just plug in, because they are making these for new people to grow their business. So a lot of these contests and promotions are to help you grow. So plug into something. All right, guys. I'm done. That was all I had for tonight. Is there anybody that wants to share anything, or is there anything that you guys want to celebrate with your business or your team, or something happened on your team or for yourself? Anybody? Somebody unmuted. Did anybody unmute? No? No? It feels like somebody's trying to talk. No? Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's make it a great month of May, okay? All right. So we're going to just have a kick-ass rest of the year, too. I know it. It's all going to be awesome. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you have somebody that's not on this call, tell them what our plan is, what we're doing, so they know, because we need everybody to do this. That's going to be pretty cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks to Angelica for sharing tonight. I'm so proud of you. I mean, that's a really big thing that you stepped out of your comfort zone and went to an